EAKA. We're here today at Super Fight Series in Dunstable. We've got Alfie Lynch headlining the card. He's taking on an old opponent, Kieran Piggott. Alfie fought Kieran in the amateurs and knocked him out in the first round. Since then, Kieran's really improved and he's actually an unbeaten professional to date as 5-0. So his O has got to go. We've also got Luke Monks and Charlie Brown on the card. So yeah, really looking forward to the day. Very grateful to Amir for getting us on the show. Thank you for everyone involved.
Charlie up first. The girl she's fighting came from Hungary. She had a decent record as well. She was more experienced than Charlie. Obviously she was a bit taller than Charlie. It was nice to have a fair fight in terms of age and weight because Charlie's last opponent was a lot more experienced but also a lot older. She's just working with JC on the pads here, setting up some low kicks which she's known for, and then throughout the fight you'll see that she uses her teeps quite a lot. She had a lot of success with those. The reason she had so much success with those is because of how well she throws her low kicks. And then she'll go from the low kicks up to the teeps and sometimes to the face, which you'll see in the highlights.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Starts nice and strong in the first round, probably a little bit too strong. Knowing this a 3-round fight, I knew she'd want to get rid of this sort of excited energy that she had. She's putting everything in her shots. Sitting on them low kicks, as I said. A lot of clinching in this fight, which we weren't expecting so much. She had a lot of success with the lead hand, but then she started wasting a little bit by throwing it as a hook rather than a straight shot. Yeah, lovely left hook there. That's the right time to throw it. When your opponent's in the corner like that, and it's harder for them to step out the way of it or lean back from it, that's the time to throw your left hooks. But she was throwing them in the centre of the ring without setting them up with any straight shots first, so. As you can see, I was just telling her to calm down and now I'm telling her to stop looping that left hook. If she's going to throw it, she needs to put it behind the straight shots. I think this round you start seeing her bring up the teeps to the face, which were working really well for her. All credit to her for that one. She's the one who noticed that the girl was walking onto him. Again, a lot of clinching. I think the girl came from a Thai background, so that's probably why. But we've recently been doing a lot of sparring with clinching involved because Charlie's last opponent came from a Thai gym, so we was prepared for that. You see, actually in the clinch, Charlie looked a bit stronger. With this girl being a little bit taller, we didn't think that Charlie would have the more success at range. But she was able to sort of pick her off. Once she sort of calmed down a little bit. This is what I'm telling Charlie, to sort of be a bit stronger in her base. Bend her knees when she's pushing in, rather than sort of standing up so upright and trying to match the girl's height. The trouble is, when she was taking shots, she was then falling backwards, and that's what I was trying to say to her, to be a little bit stronger in her base. You see there how Charlie was stronger in the clinch. And there's that teep to the face that she was setting up after the low kicks. We actually call that the Charlie Girl teep now in the club. She pulls it off the best. Again, looping with that left hand. Just pulling her slightly into a bit of a bad position. And then that teep to the face again. I think Charlie was doing well was when they did clinch up as well, she turned the girl so she looked like she was in a more dominant position in the ring. Ringcraft is everything when it comes to these events. You can see she's just relieved to have the fight, this one out of the way and get back onto the winning side.
Of international K1 action, your judges at ringside have reached unanimous decision. So let's hear it for your winner in the red corner, Charlie.
Yeah, good win, good step forward. I think the next time you'll see her, she'll be a little bit more refined.
One down.
How are you feeling?
Good, yeah. Very good. Yeah, better now I'm done.
I saw them on the day.
That was good though.
Little wham.
It's better off down there.
Top 10 radar.
We're like Jimmy Jimskin, innit?
So next up, Luke Monks. There's old Pistol Pete, my dad. We call him Pistol Pete. All the lads like having him in the on the team on fight day because he's a good laugh. Brings the humour. Talking to Luke about setting that straight right up after that low kick, coming from the same side, which not many people are used to.
In the closing seconds of the third round, representing East Anglia Kickboxing, Luke Moore.
So a lot of people don't know, Luke joined me with a record of 0 wins, 4 losses. He came to me from another gym. Obviously with a losing record, he wanted to put that right. And since he's been with me, this was his 5th fight. And yeah, he's now won all 5 fights that he's had with us as a team. That's not necessarily to say that we did anything amazing with him, it's just that Luke works hard, trains hard, he can be trusted to do his S&C, his dieting and everything like that. You know, he's 36 years old, he's got a very demanding job, so he's only right to demand results, you know, and not go out as a loser. 5 fights, 5 wins under EAKA. this one was going to be his biggest test yet. It actually ended up being one of the easier fights. I mean, that guy was tough, but I think because of how good his record was, he was 4-0, hadn't had a loss. I think Luke had to train extra hard for this one, and it showed. Luke's pressure was just way too much for this guy. I mean, the guy had a very good chin. He was a lot better to the body than we thought he'd be, but you could tell the body shots were taking their toll, especially early on. And that was the plan, to get them body shots in early on, let him know that he's in for a fight. And Luke was having a lot of success with the low kicks, as he always does. Luke punches hard, but he also kicks really hard as well, so his low kicks were working really well for him. Again, just taking that space away from the guy, from fighting. Closing that distance, and then not letting him have any space when he was tracking him. Obviously limited clinch was allowed, and to be fair, they stuck to the rules. There was no, to be honest, there was no clinching, which was great. Again, those low kicks just taking their effect. When your leg's been damaged like that, it's hard to put anything in on your punches, so we knew not too much was going to start coming back. But then going into this last round, whatever the coach of the other guy said must have really sort of stuck a rocket up him, because he come out and he landed some good shots. You can see he was a lot more game in this last round than he was in the first two, but still overall the pressure was a bit too much for him. Nice jab there from Luke. The jab works well for Luke as well. Certainly you don't see too much of in kickboxing, but I love a good jab. I like my guys to use it. Luke's getting a little bit sloppy with his kicks here. The thing is, when you get tired, sometimes you're better off not throwing anything than throwing something half-hearted, because it can leave you in a bad position. And that's the biggest difference probably for Luke in this fight compared to his last few fights. Now he's got a bit more experience. You can see that he's like not wasting as much. What he throws to land.
Ladies and gentlemen, a top draw performance following the 3 awesome rounds of K1 action. And now we go to the official results. All in favour of your winner, in the red corner, Marks. And let's raise the roof for a runner-up, Flynn Aiken.
So obviously got Alfie up last for us, and he was the main event as well at the show. There was a lot of tension with this fight. There's been a lot of talk after it as well as before it. We have nothing but respect for Kieran. It might not have shown that on the day. Obviously, we just see Alfie at a level way above Kieran, and a lot of these domestic fights we couldn't get for Alfie before we took on the challenge of one championship, which didn't pay off for us, but it will do in the long run. Yeah, we couldn't get these domestic fights. No one wanted to fight Alfie, including Kieran. And rightly so. I mean, Alfie absolutely schooled Kieran in the amateurs, KO'd him in round 1. So when Kieran went on a run and 5-0 as a pro, obviously when people see Alfie lose his fight and one championship, a lot of people wanted to have another go. You know, a lot of people wanted to have think they could have a crack at it, and thought someone had cracked the code, and then they had the blueprint. But Alfie's another one. So when he's excited like this before a fight, which he normally is, I know he's going to do the business, because I can tell how up for it he is. And if you show him any sign of weakness in that fight, then he gets through to you. And it's like trying to get a dog off of a bone, because he ain't going to leave you alone. As you see, I'm praying here. I pray over all my fighters before they get in the ring. And I also pray for their opponents as well. I pray for both fighters in that ring. I want to make sure that, you know, everyone has a moment to reflect and thank God for why we're there, the opportunity, and also pray that everyone gets home safe to their family, you know. At the end of the day, it might look like we dislike each other, but we don't. You know, there's no hate there from us. Alfie's a very humble person outside of the ring, but he is a showman when he's in there. Kieran looked in great shape heading into this fight, looked big, thought he looked like he'd obviously had a very good weight cut. But yeah, he started really sharp. We knew he'd start sharp. It was never going to be a case that we was going to try and... we knew he'd start fast because of how Alfie's last fight. So it was just a case of we knew he was the more powerful out of the two. We knew Alfie was the more explosive, and we knew that obviously Kieran had been stopped before and by Alfie. So we kind of like the first round. It was a case of letting land his shots, just reassuring Alfie that although Kieran looks like a new beast, for us he don't have too much behind his shots, and I'm not trying to disrespect him in any way by saying that. You know, we know we can sort of just take those shots and keep moving forward, keep taking the space. The plan was always to catch Kieran when Kieran was ready to open up. I predicted round 3. I thought Alfie would eventually get to Kieran in round 3, rather than try and chase him and match him with everything, because Kieran moves really well. He's got fantastic movement, fantastic side kicks, angles well, but you know, we weren't going to try and match that. So for us it was a case of, and I was just reminding Alfie of that, just keep going, and when you trap him, let everything go. We knew Kieran would crumble. Right there, so he's got caught in a head kick, and we knew straight away he'd shell up. But it looked like he didn't want to be there, and that's why Alfie then caught him with a knee as well. He threw everything here at Kieran, including the kitchen sink. Speaks for itself, that one. There was a big knee there and a big hook. How Kieran got up from that, I don't know. And then yeah, just to make sure the job was done. Polish the knee off, make sure it's ready for the next fight. You know, once all said and done, as I say, it's nothing but respect for Kieran and his team. Got great coaches.
As this contest played on in the second round and was delivered in style by your winner. In the blue corner, Kieran. It's my bad, mate. In the red corner, Alfie.
Every single person that commented or said something, say now. I'm back, 1 championship. Give me a bit, I'm coming back.